So the last video I posted was Book Reviews Nobody Asked For Part 2, and in Book Reviews Nobody Asked For Part 2, we did Rejoice the Free Will Baptist Hymnal. During my discussion of that book, I talked about the musical concept of contrafaction. Contrafaction is that if two poems have the same meter, and two pieces of music have the same meter, then they are interchangeable. And the example that I gave when talking about that was Amazing Grace and the original Pokémon theme song. And I only sang a little bit of each to kind of give an example. Well, I don't just post these to TikTok, I also post them to YouTube, because there are some people that aren't a fan of TikTok and won't touch TikTok, and I understand. And so I post them on YouTube as well. One of the users that follows me on YouTube, in Colvin05, I think was the handle. I know who you are in real life, but I'm trying to remember what your username was. Had commented that they really wanted to hear me do Amazing Grace to the Pokemon theme in its entirety. Well, Amazing Grace in its entirety in Rejoice the Free Will Baptist Hymnal is 5 verses, and I don't feel like doing 5 verses. Partially because that is a lot, and partially because my wife is in the other room attempting to sleep. And so I'm only going to do 3 of the verses, but for your listening pleasure, we have Amazing Grace done to the Pokemon theme, verses 1, 4, and 5, as it appears in Rejoice the Free Will Baptist Hymnal, hymn 230. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Twas grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun Amazing Grace. So there you go. Thank you, in Colvin05 on YouTube, for suggesting that I do a little bit more of that for your listening pleasure. I encourage you to look up more instances of contrafaction on Google. There are plenty of excellent examples. Another good one is most of Emily Dickin's poems. Did I say Dickens? That's Charles Dickens. Emily Dickinson's poems follow a similar meter, and so a lot of her poetry can be set to the theme of Gilligan's Island. A good example being, because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. I forget the name of the poem, but that's the first line. It fits very well with Gilligan's Island, but there are so many excellent examples of contrafaction. I encourage you to look them up. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening.